I'm the lover of a gloomy villain, but I'm lazy. The villain went bankrupt. The system ordered me to humiliate him harshly, dump him, and spark his fighting spirit to make a comeback. I said no. I'm too lazy to hurl insults. Michael grabbed my chin, his tone vicious. Everyone's left me. Why won't you go? Are you sticking around to laugh at me? I yawned slowly. Too lazy to run. His eyes reddened. And he gave up on himself. I'm just a loser now. A penniless wreck. I can't give you that life of luxury anymore. I patted his head enough. Don't you get tired, rambling on like that? Come here, let me stay with you for a good rest. And so to keep me from starving. Michael pulled himself together, running himself ragged with 3 jobs a day. By the time in the original book, he was supposed to be on a date with the female led to deepen their bond. Michael was at home, on one knee, meticulously tying the bow on my little dress. The system shrieked, "Are you out of your mind? Sarah? I'm Sarah, the kept bird of Michael. A tycoon in the finance world, and I'm lazy. People say Michael's done an amazing job keeping me under wraps. After all this time by his side, there's not a single photo of me online. Well, truth is, I just lie at home all day. Too lazy to go out. Becoming his kept bird was an accident after college. I sent a resume to his company. In the desired position section, I wrote, few tasks, good pay, personal profile, like seating. Michael held that resume, turning it over and over. Completely baffled, curiosity got the better of him. He interviewed me himself. I explained. It means like seating and hates working. He frowned, confused. Then why not write the whole thing? I took a sip of water. Drawn out, I said 3 words. Too lazy to. Even though the interview was a disaster, I still got the job. Michael needed to avoid a business marriage, so he hired me as his professional kept bird. I weighed it up in my mind, good pay, few tasks. Plus, I could work from home. I'm frail, deficient in qi and blood. After 2 steps, I want to squat. When I stand up, my vision blacks out. Only my sleep quality is exceptional. And that, Michael appreciated greatly. He is a sensitive, gloomy sort. Childhood trauma from his family. Ostracized and mocked by peers at school, betrayed by business partners after starting his company. It made him suspicious, tense, often depressed and insomniac. Every night, he dropped me in his arms like a human pillow. Inhaled the scent of my hair. Pinched the soft flesh of my waist. Only then would he relax, sleeping soundly all night. I did nothing but sleep. Every morning I opened my eyes, there'd be gifts and transfers from him. Truly an offer too tempting to refuse. But now, things are dire. Michael was set up and went bankrupt. He's been swamped. My A for days, dissolving the company, selling off assets, mortgaging property, handing out final paychecks and severance to employees. As for me, he didn't even meet me one last time. Just a message on my phone. I don't have money for a breakup fee. Gifts I gave you before are all voluntary. I was devastated. I buried myself in sleep for 15 hours. When I woke, the system popped up in my head. It said, "This is a novel world. Michael is the gloomy villain, and I'm just a plot device. His kept bird." Right now, the system gushed, "You need to act like you're after his money. Slap Michael hard a few times. Call him a worthless pauper, dump him, and that'll light a fire under him. Only then can he make a comeback. Reunite with his childhood sweetheart, the female-led, but she'll already have the male-led. And the 3 of them will start a 200-chapter love triangle." I covered my ears. No. Slapping him, yelling at him, sounds exhausting. The system threatened, as a plot device. Their job is to push the story forward. If you don't, you'll get electrocuted. I mustered all my strength to roll over. Then go ahead. It was out of ideas. Come on. I'm lazy, not stupid. If I'd listened to the system's nonsense, grinding Michael's dignity into the dirt given his personality, once he made a comeback, he'd definitely beat the crap out of me. 3 days later, I finally went to find Michael, the once proud son of heaven, fallen from a glitzy CBD penthouse to a dark, cramped tenement where buildings are so close they almost touch. Stubble covered his chin. He slouched on the floor, drowning his sorrows in alcohol and tobacco. When he saw me, he scoffed bitterly. "Aren't you gone? Why come back? What, did I miss something valuable you can loot?" I shook my head. handing him a bank card. While you were gone, I contacted second-hand luxury dealers. This money can ease your debts. Michael was a generous patron. In his heyday, he'd made me a VIP at every luxury brand and jewelry store, every new collection or limited edition. They'd rush to deliver it to me first. So my clothes, bags, watches, jewelry filled an entire room. His voice trembled, eyes wide with disbelief. You sold all of them? You wouldn't even unwrap them before. Well, truth is, I was too lazy to unwrap them. And because they were unopened, in brand new condition, I got a lot more money for them. But if he wants to think otherwise, having to kill my had said otherwise. Fine. I'm too lazy to argue just then. My stomach crumbled. To cover the awkwardness, I quickly added softly, I eat very little. I won't be a burden. Don't chase me away after all, a boss and patron as good as him? Once in a lifetime. He sniffled. Okay, doubt. I too went downstairs and bought takeout from a diner, pushing the container toward me while he just drank water. See? This is what I am now, a loser. A pauper. If you stay with me, this is all you'll get, cheap, lousy food like this. I didn't care what's wrong with it, I said, pointing at each dish. Look, carbs, protein, fiber. Perfectly balanced, and there's even ribs. This owner must be doing charity. I broke my chopsticks apart and scooped most of the small ribs onto his side. After all, I spent all day lying down, barely burning energy. I ate very little. His eyes reddened further. Are you really okay with this? He asked. But before, with me, you ate, yeah. Before, every meal was cooked by a Michelin chef who came to the house. Sushi, Thai food, lobsters, hounding for web searchers, sea cucumbers, king crabs, endless varieties. So what? I was too lazy to chew back then, but now, that blender was gone, seized by the bank along with the penthouse. I sucked on a tangy sweet trebum, way more flavorful than that mushy stuff. Meeting my clear gaze, Michael sighed, rambling on, fine. You've been spoiled by me. You don't know what real hardship is. You'll figure it out soon enough. Your youth is precious. Wasting it on me isn't worth it. If you regret it, leave any time. I won't touch a cent in that card. The bankruptcy's my fault, not yours. I'll carry all the debt alone. My head throbbed. Like Sun Wukong with the inhibitions. The old Michael aloof, brooding, having to felt my obsession. Tight-lipped. This Michael, like a fretful old dad. I patted his head, cutting off his lecture. Enough, stopped on tea. You get tired. Nattering on. Your eyes are bloodshot. Haven't T slept well for days, huh? See mirror. Let's get some proper sleep. I stood up and opened my suitcase before the bank sealed the house. They'd let me take a few cheap personal items. I'd grabbed my pillow and quilt. No matter how tough life gets, a good night's sleep gives you strength to keep going. The quilt was soft and warm. Crawling in felt like being cradled by clouds. For once, Michael didn't hug me. He turned his back, shoulders shaking, muffling his sobs for a long while as I drifted off. Half asleep. He kissed the top of my head. Sarah, I promise I'll give you the good life again. After that, Michael found his resolve. He worked 3 jobs, rushing non-stop, treating himself like a mule. By day, he ran errands for clients. After work, he wrote business plans for college students. Then he'd shut his laptop and deliver food. In his words, if he didn't work harder, he'd starve me. I was trying to figure out how to make money lying down too. But after a few minutes of thinking, I got sleepy. Oh well, sleep first. Right before tucking in, a thought struck me. I set up my camera and started a live stream of myself sleeping. I yawned. Within minutes, I was in a deep sleep. A viewer wandered in, thinking it was a gimmick, assuming I'd wake up to thank them for gifts. So they sent a small heart. Nothing happened. I was dead to the world, unaware. They tried a sunglasses gift. Still no response that sparked their stubbornness. They kept sending more rainbows, paper planes, hot air balloons. Eager to see when I'd stir. The higher the gift value, the more the platform promoted the stream. Soon, crowds flooded in to watch me sleep. Comments rolled in, damn, the streamer's a diva. How much to wake her up? Why's everyone watching someone sleep? Boring piece. But she looks so peaceful. Jealous of that sleep quality. Those bed sheets look comfy, Link. Need that pajama set. When I finally woke up, there was $100 in gift earnings. A pajama brand even messaged D. wanting to sponsor me. What a surprise. With this, Michael wouldn't have to work so hard delivering food. I was about to call him with the good news when a voice popped in my head. The system, long gone last time we talked. It had ranted, calling Michael useless and me useless Pro Max. After realizing I didn't care, it had stormed off, leaving me be. But now, it sounded thrilled. Sarah, you're a legend. I overreacted before. Why didn't you say you're a master manipulator? I was confused. Huh? I hadn't done anything, the system gushed. That's why you're a genius. Doing nothing's made the plot twist in the weirdest way. Michael's not just motivated tonight, while delivering food. He got an order to a fancy neighborhood. He just met his childhood sweetheart early. Oh, so it was unavoidable. Did that mean I had to leave soon? A terrible thought hit me. Everything in this world was scripted. No matter how hard you dodged, fate would play out. I accepted it calmly. Okay. Fine, I was too lazy to fight it. I asked the system, what's Michael's white moonlight like? The system filled me in. Her name was Jennifer. She'd been Michael's desk mate and class rep back in high school when he was ostracized. She'd tutored him despite the gossip when Michael's father gambled away his tuition, leaving him on the verge of expulsion. She unhesitatingly lent him her living expenses. Even though he'd only paid her back slowly, working summer jobs after the college entrance exams. Michael had never told me any of this, even when I'd been curious enough to ask. He just patted my head and brushed it off. It's all in the past. No need to keep picking at old scars. Somehow, listening to this made my chest ache strangely. I felt no jealousy toward this sudden rival. Not just Michael would admire her. Jennifer was just a genuinely good person. I'll leave voluntarily, I said, my nose tingling. I'll let them be happy. But before I go, I want to know my ending. You at least told me time to plan my future, right? Well, the system went silent, then returned, sorry. But since you're just a plot device, the author didn't bother fleshing out your character or writing what happens after you exit. But this world's pretty flexible. You can explore more on your own. No way. Exploring sounds exhausting. I just want a lazy, comfortable life. To keep lying around for the rest of my days, I decided to fight for myself. Sweet talk never hurts when asking for favors. I put on a teary face. Even if I'm a minor character, I'm still the author's dear daughter. Could you ask her kind, beautiful, charming author mama to give me a better ending, pretty please? My flood of flattery softened the system. It promised to pass along my request, telling me to wait for news in the next few days. Not long after the system vanished, Michael came home an hour and a half later than usual, probably because of his reunion with his old friend. He looked surprised to find me still awake. I nudged, half joking, what were you up to tonight behind my back? Michael froze, then smiled. You rated clever, baby. Nothing gets past you. He held out his left hand, which he'd been hiding behind his back, a fancy paper bag containing a strawberry charlotte cake. Memories surfaced during the early days with Michael. When work stressed him, he'd smoke on the balcony. No matter how long he stayed outside, the smell clung to him. I dinkled my nose, but let it go. Bado. He was my patron, I should accommodate him. Michael had noticed me frowning in my sleep. He apologized softly, sorry. Baby, you don't like it, huh? Then he'd retreated to his study. After that, the house never smelled of cigarettes again, only the sweet scent of pastries. He said he'd picked up an order from a dessert shop and grabbed my favorite cake on a whim. But right now the cake didn't feel like a sweet surprise, it felt like a guilty offering. If he'd just been honest tonight, I would have wished them well, but this being lied to, kept in the dark, snuffed out the last of my reluctance. I resolved, once the system replied, I'd leave for good. The next day, viewers flooded my messages asking if I'd stream again. They said my channel had a weirdly calming vibe. People who'd struggled with insomnia for months felt drowsy the second they tuned in. Puzzled, I started streaming again, urged by their messages. 5 days later, the system chimed in. The author says she'll add a little extra chapter for you. You can wish for any life, and she'll write it. I clasped my hands, making a modest wish, a life without worrying about food or drink. A job with good pay and few tasks. Preferably one where I can make money lying down like before. The next second, my phone pinged. A newly opened four-star hotel had messaged Dee, offering me a job as a professional sleeper and promoter covering flights and meals. Thrilled. This job was perfect for me. I clasped my hands again, gazing upward reverently. Thank you, author mama, but today was Michael's birthday to not ruin it. I decided to leave after tonight, checking my stream earnings. I'd made $700, that aside $500 for living expenses. Then took the remaining $200 to order a birthday cake in the dark night, only the candlelight glowed softly. I put a party hat on him, sang happy birthday, and urged him to make a wish, so Michael closed his eyes. I wish to never be separated from my love. Oh, I said, sorry, it'll come true. The next day, after he left for work, I packed my things, deleted all contacts, pulled out my SIM card, and left a letter. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. I can't take this lousy life anymore. We shared the good times, but you can keep the bad ones to yourself. Truth is, I was gambling hoping you'd bounce back and spoil me twice as much, but it looks hopeless, so I'm leaving. I'm just a gold digger, after all. Thanks for everything. T. Look for me. And may your birthday wish come true. Sarah. When Michael came home that night, he opened the letter on the table. By then, I'd already landed in a southern city 2,000 kilometers away. What I didn't expect was this. Leaving had felt so clean, so easy, but the withdrawal hit hard. I lay in bed, tossing and turning, as memories flashed through my mind frame by frame. We'd been together so long, how could I erase that overnight? Probably reliving painful memories. He'd cry in his sleep, that man, so decisive and unreadable by day, bearing such raw vulnerability. I drop my arms around him, pat his back gently, and murmur, no more tears, no more sea mirror, let me hold you. It always worked. He'd stop crying, then drift off peacefully. Now, I wrapped my arms around myself, hoping for even a sliver of that comfort, but emotions crashed like a rising tide. The hotter I fought, the more violent they grew. I went out, sitting on a park bench to let the wind cool my tears. A small yellow kid trotted over, sniffing around my legs. Its belly was flat, probably hungry. I bought ham and water from a nearby convenience store. After eating, it still wouldn't leave. I waved my arm in a shooing gesture. You full. Go on. I got crying to do snivel, whether it understood or not. It plopped down beside my calf, sitting quietly as if keeping watch. That set me off again, harder. I scooped it up. Wow, what a good-tempered cat, even covered in my tears and snot. It never hissed. Eventually, I felt silly. I dried my eyes, then used its fur to wipe my nose. Thanks, cat, you a good one. I adopted it, naming it Yellow Fur. In this new life, we chose each other as family. My job was simple: hotel tester, with a side of live streaming to avoid recognition. I wore a green Frogheim mask every time I went on camera. Then, Cat and I would prop up the phone and sleep like the dead. Sometimes I'd take ads for bed linens, earning a cut of sales. Viewers said my stream was like a sleeping pill, oddly serene, serenely odd. Stay for more than a minute, and its magic would hit. Even a passing dog would conk out for 2 hours. I loved this life, traveling and earning money. No stress, free to laze around, no fear of Michael finding me. Hop cities constantly, my whereabouts unpredictable. Plus, the system assured me that our romance was completely over. No chance of reunion. I relaxed. 2 years flew by. I'd visited over 40 cities, home and abroad. I knew who to thank for this ease every time. I'd look skyward, hands clasped, and pray, thank you, author mama. I'll always be your loyal follower, defending you from all who cross you. My last trip, flying from Suzhou back to Beijing, with time to kill before my flight. I bought ice cream and milk tea. By chance, I heard two people talking about Michael. I inched closer, pretending to wait for my order and listen. Barely 2 years after his bankruptcy, Michael was once again a big shot in Beijing. He'd always been brilliant. That low point was just him biding his time, waiting to soar when the moment came. Their chat turned to me. Oh, and that kept woman of his ran off the second he went broke. Bet that gold digger's ticking herself now. Their tone dripped with schadenfreude. Huh, me? It was fine. Long over, anyway. I was calmer than I'd thought possible. Turns out, time really does fade everything. After getting my boarding pass, I headed to check in Yellow Fur for pet transport. I put him in the carrier. 20 meters from the counter, a familiar figure appeared as if sensing me. He turned. Our eyes met, sudden and unplanned. Michael looked confused, then shocked. I couldn't hear him, but his lips spelled it out. Sarah? Is that you? My brain short-circuited and thought, run. We staged a real-life subway surf in the terminal. Me fleeing, him chasing, dodging through crowds. Gate after gate blurred past. Michael, who'd handled 3 jobs a day with energy to spare, versus me. A couch potato lugging a giant pet carrier. No contest, but I knew Michael, that wild streak in him. If he caught me, who knew what'd happen, so I pushed on, gritting my teeth. Gradually, my limbs went weak, blood turning cold. Damn it. A hypoglycemic attack. Right when I needed it least. I leaned against the wall, sinking slowly. Sarah. Michael's voice, panicked, as he sprinted over, catching me. One arm holding me, the other gripping the carrier. Darkness closed in. Before I blacked out, I seethed in my mind, system, you better show up right now and explain. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, an IV in my hand. Michael was murmuring to a nurse. The system apologized meekly. I don't get it either. You were supposed to be out of the story, never crossing paths again. But who knew the female lead and villain would both wake up and ditch the script? Now the villain's got you. Sorry, the world's a mess. Just go with it while it's hot. I tore into the system. I'd said such cruel things to make him let go. And now it's telling me the plot collapsed. Who do I complain to? Tell me, look me in the eyes. Michael tucked the blanket around me, frowning. All your vitals are stable, why won't you wake up? Cold sweat broke over me. Wake up. He'd tear me apart, dared I? Michael insisted on staying till I woke. I kept my eyes shut, feigning sleep, ready to outlast him. Stalemate. Meow. A meow shattered the silence. Yellow fur, usually aloof, never letting strangers touch him, took an instant liking to Michael. His first time meeting him, he wound around Michael's legs, mewling for food. Michael dangled a treat. Daddy-s got you a stick, huh? That did it. I shot up, punching him the nerve. Demoting himself to dad out of nowhere. Michael, whether stunned or amused, just said, Sarah, you're finally awake. He pulled me tight. No escape. I've looked for you 2 years. Just one answer. Why? Who'd believe you left for money? Who left the card untouched? Who sent anonymous transfers again and again? Tears hit my hand. I realized mine were streaming too. I wish I had left because you were poor, but Michael, I'm just a side character. I can't fight the plot like you. Staying would have made it worse. Leaving was my only, best choice. But you vanished without a word. The day after my wish. His eyes read. Ned. I'd have respected your choice. But denying me even an explanation? That's not fair. Lucky I found you 2 years late. But not too late. I hope. I started asking, why do you come home so late the day Jennifer showed up? He thought. Wanted extra orders to buy you that cake. Another question. Why never tell me your past? Because you're sensitive, too empathetic. You'd have cried yourself sick over it. Those scars healed. No point making you hurt for it. Third, what's between you now? Business partners. No hesitation. Jennifer's a top grad with cutting-edge patents. I saw an opening. Invited her to invest technically. Win-win. I sounded tart. A perfect match. Really? Michael hurried to stress, louder. Only partners. I gave her a big bonus to repay her old kindness. Sarah, I'm an adult. Gratitude and love are nothing alike. Love is one of a kind, protective, responsible. Planning a future with you, every day. To put it simply. He crossed his arms. Thinking, wanting to share every day's cake with you. Michael added there was a reason he and Jennifer could never be what I feared. Curious. I pressed, but he'd only say, might break your view of the world. You'll see. Later, at his company, I met Jennifer. The female leads. He was radiant, kind, chatting for Subwayed session. Brilliant. Career-driven, an MIT Comp C master. She coded all night but still had thick hair. That I envied. So unfair. She was warm, easy to talk to. Through her, I pieced together the truth. Her life was smooth, top school, star mentor, groundbreaking work. The original male lead lusted after her patents, pursuing her wildly to swindle them via legal loopholes. Jennifer felt something off but was forced by the plot to accept. Till she neared his trap, then she and Michael both woke up, meeting by chance. Original plot. Male-led and villain fight over her, 200 chapters of angst reality. Villain chases his lost love worldwide, female-led flips the table. They teamed up, crushing the male-led before he even mattered. Jennifer yawned, slumping drowsily. Been debugging a program lately, fixing glitches has me swamped. Haven't slept properly in days. I offered my shoulder. Sleep deprived. You can try staying with me. All my friends growing up said I'm like a walking sleeping pill. Sharing a bed with me, they always sleep soundly. Or you can ask Michael. He was cured by me. After all. Jennifer's eyes lit up instantly, her voice brimming with excitement. Really? The next second, a figure flashed between us. Michael, reacting on pure instinct, planted himself in front of me, eyeing her like she was a plague. No, go away. My wife is straight. His voice cracked, borderline frantic. Don't even think about it. The engagement ceremony was exhausting. So exhausting. I glanced at my little dress, covered in bows. Then at Michael with a complicated look, words hovering on the tip of my tongue, but dying unspoken. Unexpectedly, he read my mind. A faint smile played on his lips. Baby, I know you're tired. Just hold on a little longer. But important stuff like engagement ceremonies you really can't send a substitute. He added. And marriage is even less negotiable. I flew into a huff. Hate how he sees right through me. After the ceremony, we had hot pot tipsy, we chatted non-stop, rambling about everything. Eventually, the topic turned to our first impressions of each other. Michael gestured animatedly. At first, you seemed so calm about everything. I thought, this person must have a strong core. Turns out, you're just plain lazy. But by the time I figured that out, it was too late. I was already in love. I squirmed awkwardly, ducking under the table, muffled. I said, just keep thinking I have a strong core, okay? After marriage, I stayed the same. If I can't sit, I won't stand. If I can lie down, I won't sit. I won't even roll over unless my phone dies. Michael, blessed with boundless energy, couldn't fathom it. He's convinced I'm frail. One step away from dropping dead in his mind, exercise strength. So he swapped my game console for a fitness ring. Dragged me out for 630 AM jogs, added 3 rounds of drills after meals. I snapped. Collapsing onto the yoga mat, I burst into tears. He panicked, scooping me up. What's wrong? I kicked him, railing, stop treating me like a dog. I just want to lie down. Michael was at a loss. He knew this couldn't go on, but he couldn't bring himself to push me harder. So he took me to a Chinese medicine practitioner for conditioning. Bad news, I had kidney and spleen deficiencies, low energy, poor nutrition, plus a body that rejects tonics. Good news, the doctor said my chronic frailty and slow metabolism kept me stable. No wild messing around. And I'd live a long life. AK, 1 bar of battery till the end credits. Later, I finally figured out why he was so obsessed with my exercise routine. One night, I lay on top of him, complaining. Wah, I can't keep going. It's too tiring. And out of strength of this vigorous exercise is killing me. He wore a triumphant grin, kissing my hand. Poor baby, worked so hard, let me take over. Next thing I knew, the world spun. Cue the indescribable scene. Michael woke up, feeling an itch at the corner of his eye. He thought it was tears from another nightmare. He opened his eyes, then smiled softly. It was just the soft tip of his lover's hair, brushing his skin.